a better rear GoPro mount that won't just hit the back of your head. This week on Kayak Hacks. I do a lot of video when I'm out kayak fishing, obviously because I have this channel. And one of the things that I noticed on a lot of the other channels is they have a long pole in back of their seat focused down on the front of the kayak to watch them fish. And you see guys reaching fish up to show it to the camera, and you end up seeing a lot of bald heads on there as well. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted a side shot that I thought would be more engaging. So what I did is I took a Scotty rod mount, drilled a hole through it and some PVC, put a 45-degree angle on it going to a flexible, rotatable GoPro mount at the top. Now the advantage of the Scotty mount, when I put it into the gear head on the utility track, is that I can adjust this up and down and side to side to match the angle that I want. So I'm not just stuck with the single static view from the back. And it goes in pretty easy. Just fits in my utility track. Now I can move it back and forth. I can move it up and down by adjusting the side of the Scotty mount. And I can change the angle at which the camera reads. I'm out here doing the proof of concept today, and given that it's going to get cold and I won't be out here for another couple months, I wanted to get this video in the bag and see if it has merit. So the first thing you need to do after you mount this improved GoPro mount is use the GoPro app to make sure that it's got you in the right picture. Now notice that it's wobbling just a little bit. I'm going to try it up on my Scotty mount and see if that solves the problem. I'm only having one rod holder with me today, but right now it's looking pretty good. I've got a good side shot with the angle, and now I'm going to go ahead and start paddling a little bit and we'll see how that looks. Okay, one design point when you make this is make this pole right here long enough not to be in the way of your paddle stroke. Otherwise, you can just push it back some and have it out of the way when you come up on your backstroke. As I'm moving, I'm checking out the remote app to see what the picture looks like, and I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing right now. And it doesn't seem to be too much wobble up and down with the smooth water that I'm paddling across right now. And when I stop to fish, I can move this into more of a total sideways shot and now catch the action when I'm picking up a fish. And so I'm not going to fish today, but you can see as I throw the rod, as I reel, it's going to be okay. And this will be pretty good to see all the action out in front as I land a fish. I think this is going to be a winner. Now the nice thing about this, at least on this gear head adapter, is it's easy to move back and forth. Once this gets put into a Scotty mount, you're going to have to bend back, lift it up, and move it, but it's going to be more stable. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my rod holder here up front, and we'll do a little bit of paddling just to see the difference between the utility, the gear head adapter, and the actual Scotty mount. We'll go ahead and do that right now, and I'll get reset up. I'm paddling with the mount in my Scotty rod mount to see what the difference in vibration is. Just from looking at it, it doesn't look too bad, but you can see that it's kind of neat to have this front perspective of a wide shot as I'm paddling. Now, the only disadvantage of having it up here is that to move it, I've got to move forward, I've got to lift up the rod holder and physically turn it. In either mounting option, whether it's in the gear head or up here, I'm going to have to turn the crank to raise and lower it. And that just can't be avoided. Although, with the 360 mount that I have on there, you can just turn the camera up and down as long as you're okay with the plane that it's sitting in. Well, let's go. I'm going to put it back, and let's see how easy it is to go ahead and move it on the gear head. Okay, here's the difference with having this back here in my gear head. Here, if it's in the way when I paddle, it's easy to just move it back. The other advantage of this is it's pretty easy to move in and change the angle of the camera if you need to make some adjustments. And now when I paddle, I'm getting a pretty interesting shot from back there. You can see me paddling, and you can see the panorama of what's in front of me as I pick out the different places to fish. This is all right. I like this, and with it pushed way back, it's definitely out of the way of my paddle stroke. A lot better than looking at a big bald head in the back of the camera. And actually from that perspective, you can see any fish catching action really in about a 270 degree perspective. Now I've got my session up there right now because it's light, and that may be a consideration and is something that's helping me with the wiggle. It's only the 1.25 inches that'll fit into the Scotty rod mount, so you can't get anything bigger, and what's causing the wiggle anyway is the gear head adapter. Now you notice in those earlier shots, you could still see a lot of this pull. Now the way to get that out of the shot is to move the gear head adapter or the Scotty mount farther back in your kayak, maybe back by the rod holders in my kayak, where it's still reachable for me to grab it, but it's going to be, when I cock it around, it's going to be out of the shot. So that'll be something I think about as I go forward with tuning this to my specifications and the photography aspect that I want to get. I really think this is a winning idea. And I can't wait to show you some fish catching pictures from next season. Comments? Better suggestions? Please subscribe. Take care.